Good Sunday, one and all. Welcome to the Cliff Ellis Show. I'm your host, Brendan Dunn, along with Coastal Carolina men's basketball coach Cliff Ellis. The Louisiana schools here at the HTC Center this week, coming here to Conway. Your team riding a three-game winning streak, entering the week, feeling quite good, especially considering what you guys were able to accomplish in the state of Arkansas.
Well, it was a good comeback. It gave us a chance to come back home after a sweep on the road, and we knew that the table was set because to get in a championship race, you've got to win on the road. So you got to protect home court. And Louisiana Monroe was the first test. We took care of that business, and then, of course, it was a good follow-up against Louisiana Lafayette.
Before we get to those highlights, Coach, let's talk a little bit about that Arkansas road trip, because before you left, you said, you know what, these are crucial. Anytime you can grab wins on the road, it's crucial. You went into Little Rock, you fought, you battled, you got that dub. Then you went over to Arkansas State and really played well and got another victory there. What can you say? Just a fantastic week.
Well, we've started to come together, but once again, as we've talked about so often through the course of the year, is the fact that we didn't have our team together. And now we're getting guys back, and we're starting to gel a little bit, and we're starting to become our team. Now, we're not over the hump yet, but at least we've got our team back, and we've made a surge. And so I'm proud of our team, but you've got to win games on the road, but you've got to protect home court. So in the last 2 weeks, we've been able to do that. But as we'll talk about later on in the show, now there's going to be some big tests this coming week because we got 2 games against teams that beat us at home.
Right.
And we're trying to fight to be in this championship race. And we're halfway through. We're 1 game out as we speak.
And you have an opportunity this week at home against Monroe and Louisiana to continue that winning streak, and it looked good and things were going well. Let's go into Thursday's game real quickly and talk about Monroe. You knew coming in that this team was going to be another challenge, especially their three-point shooting, one of the best in the conference, and that showed on Thursday.
Wow. I mean, this team just shoots it so well, and their bigs are pogo sticks. I mean, it was just if I'm a fan, I loved watching this game because it was a shootout, and both teams were just knocking shots down, and we couldn't stop the other one. And I mean some shots that were just tremendous shots coming off of screens, whatever. And you know, we scored enough to win, but you got to give Louisiana Monroe that they're a very, very good basketball team.
With that, let's go into these highlights between the Chanticleers and the Warhawks from UL Monroe. We get things going here early on, Coach, and your team was feeling the three. Seems like it was kind of reverse with your team hitting three and theirs not so much. Zach Cuthbertson nails one, Sanders hits one as well. DJ comes in and hits a jumper, and boom, just like that, just a few minutes into the game, you have a 6-point lead up 10-4.
Well, we get off to a good start, and we always talk about the first 5 minutes and how important it is. And I will say that this entire weekend, in our last 3 home games, we've gotten off to good starts, and that's momentum. But you know that road teams are going to settle down and settle in, get used to the floor, get used to the environment, and they're going to make comebacks on you.
Devontae Jones seems to be feeling it as of late. He was hurt earlier in the season. He's been in the starting rotation the last couple weeks, had a fantastic game, and continued that here with a couple of key jumpers to give you guys a nice, comfortable lead early.
Well, I know it was very pleasing to DJ because he's from the state of Louisiana, and to come in and play against the Louisiana schools and go against some of the guys that he knows and be able to get wins really means a lot to him.
Your bench in this game, Coach, was phenomenal. 19 points off the bench. A lot of that had to do with Gums Frater. Had a couple of big shots, and then Tommy Burton inside continues to be that presence in the paint that you have been looking for.
Well, we getting it from all ends. That's our opening group goes in and gets the job done. Then we come off the bench, and Tommy and Ty and these guys, they're really giving us a push as we go against this group of Warhawks.
You push it out to a 20-point lead, Coach, with 9:07 to go after Gums Frater hit another 3. And at that point, it looked like things were going to go your way in an easy sense. But as we see later on these highlights, that's not necessarily the case.
Well, when you got a team that can shoot the 3 the way that this team can shoot the 3, you have to buckle down because they can come back in a heartbeat. 3s will close that lead down in a hurry.
And 3s did just that. Smith hits one here, and it's an 8-point game. But give credit to your team. They withstood that run, and they built it back out to a 15-point game thanks to a couple of nice jumpers from Devontae.
Well, we made some big shots, and our defense is hanging in there. and we know that Smith is starting to feel it. So we've got to really try to get to him a little bit sooner. But for whatever reason, he had a day. He had one of those nights where it was going for him.
Josh Coleman coming in, and when he comes in, he is definitely taking advantage of his minutes. The jumper here extends the lead to 15. He's been playing well, and then down the stretch, Coach, the last minute or so, you hit some big free throws, and you had an 11-point lead at the half.
Well, he gives us a defensive presence, and he's rebounding. I'm very proud of Josh. He had a good weekend.
It's 46-35, Coastal Carolina at the break, 11-point lead over the Warhawks, and things looking good the first half, Coach, but you knew going into the second half it was going to be another 20 minutes.
Well, absolutely. In the first 5 minutes, you want it, but they come out and they actually close the gap, and it becomes a back-and-forth battle. And, it's going to be one of those games where we got to fight to the bitter end.
The first 5 minutes, though, were Coastal Carolina's Debo having a nice night. Hits on the fast break. Jones continues his hot hand, as we will talk about him a little bit later on, but he was storming as well. And then Cuthbertson hits a three. Just like that, it's a 20-point game with 14 minutes to go.
Yep, and at the same point in time, we got it back up to 20. And here they come again. So we got to be ready, and we have to watch Smith. He gets on fire.
He does just that. We hit the 10-minute mark, and Smith with the buckets. That pulls it within 9. Then he continues his hot hand with a three just moments later. And before you know it, Coach, this is an 8-point game.
Well, like we said earlier, the three-point barrage, when it goes, it can cut a lead quickly.
The Warhawks would come back within 5 after a couple of buckets. It was 76-71 with 2:50 to go.
Well, you got to protect the ball, hit your free throws, and we do it down the stretch.
Coastal Carolina goes on to beat Monroe at 92-81. Big night for Zach Cuthbertson, 29 points, 8 boards. Devontae Jones with a season-high 25 and 7 assists, Coach. Big night for those two young men.
Yeah, very, very nice, and says a lot. Again, DJ, being from Louisiana, I know this means a lot to him, but our whole team played their hearts out this entire weekend, and I'm very proud of DJ and what he did.
We caught up with Devontae Jones after the game to get his thoughts on this victory, more so his performance, a season high, as we alluded to earlier on, with 25 points.
I got to give credit to my team. My team just put me in the right position. They're talking to me each and every play. They're just keeping me up. Sometimes I can get ahead of myself, and they'll just keep me up. My coach is talking to me. I just feel like my team is making it easier for me. When AJ and Ty and Zach are making threes, the floor is open, so it's easy for me to attack and make plays.
And as DJ said, this team is starting to feel it. They're starting to gel. The team's coming together, and you got a sense, as you alluded to earlier in the season, if you can hit February and the team is playing well, you have a chance.
Well, now's the time where you rev it up because you're getting down to the last half. What have we got? 9 regular season games left. We played 21.
Yep.
So we're getting down the stretch run, and you want to be playing at your best. And right now we're starting to play pretty well. We want to keep it going, but it's a long grind, and we've got a lot of road games. We're on the road now the next 2 weeks. So as we said, championships are won on the road. We're in the race. We've got some tough games, and we know it. But if we're going to make our mark for the title, then we've got to go in and try to make some things happen on the road and not depend strictly at home. Now, at the same point in time, if other teams don't win on the road, then it kind of evens out. But to get there, you need to win as many as you can on the road. You got to steal them. It's not easy.
And we're going to talk about the road trip coming up just a little bit later on in the show. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll switch gears. We'll talk about Saturday's game against the Ragin' Cajuns, coming in off a disappointing loss at App State. Would that benefit the Chanticleers? That's coming up when we continue right here on the Cliff Ellis Show. We'll be right back.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Creek Rats.
Another trial, another battle. Where's your strength? Tenacity. What's your history? Fighting for my clients in court. But what sustains me now is working with 3 of the finest individuals I've ever known. My family. There's power in family. Power for our clients. Fighting for your rights is my family's business.
Britain Law. Born to fight, bred to win.
For more than 60 years, HTC has been delivering worldwide connections from right here in our community. A community our employees are proud to support in every way, from coaching Little League sports to local fundraisers and quarterly blood drives. We sponsor and support the community and our school systems, recognizing greatness along the way. It's a commitment we take seriously, all to strengthen the connections here in our community. HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
As the official orthopedic providers of Coastal Carolina University Athletics, the doctors of OrthoSC offer the specialized orthopedic care needed to keep athletes and their fans in the game. If bone, joint, or muscle pain is keeping you from doing what you love, get the care the Shants trust and see the experts at OrthoSC. To learn more about OrthoSC's providers and services, or to request an appointment online, visit orthosc.org.
For us, NICE goes beyond smiling faces and friendly conversation. NICE is knowing Crestcom Bank supports your biggest dreams and understands even your smallest needs. NICE is providing solutions that make sense and knowing that we will be with you in every season of life. That's why we offer competitive interest rates and cashback benefits with our new Crestcom Rewards checking account. Visit one of our convenient locations or apply online today. Crestcom Bank. Have a nice bank.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Yellowwood Pressure Treated Pine.
Welcome back here to the Cliff Ellis Show. Big win for Coastal Carolina over Monroe, looking to sweep this two-game home series as they entertain the Ragin' Cajuns from Lafayette on Saturday. Coach, going into this game, you always know what you're going to get from the Cajuns. It's going to be hard-pressed, and I tell you, they've got some really nice D1, big D1 program guys on this floor, and they showed that on Saturday.
Gant is a handful. Stroman, who transferred from South Carolina, he's a handful. Hardy and Russell, three-point shooters. The guy that surprised us was number 11, Davis. I mean, he came in and shot the ball well, got Miller inside. You know, this is a team that nobody wants to play. They're physical, they're tough, and, you know, we get off to a good start, but we know it's going to be a fight through the end.
And you knew coming into this game that you were going to get the best from this program,
no doubt,
because they lost by 30-plus the other night at App State, so you knew they were going to come in a little bit more revved up.
Well, they don't. That doesn't happen to Louisiana Lafayette very often, or Louisiana University, Louisiana, whatever it's called.
Right.
It used to be Southwest.
Yeah, they changed their name three times.
They change all the time, but anyway, I still know them as Louisiana Lafayette.
Yep.
And you know, they're physical, they're tough. You know, they're our regular season champions a year ago. They're going to punch you, they're going to hit you, and you got to mix it up. And that was what ended up helping us win the game, is that we mixed it up. We were trading baskets, but I thought that they were getting a few too many rebounds and loose balls, but that's the kind of team that they are. And they were coming in reeling after the App State game. But I told our team, you better throw that game out, because Louisiana, that's not natural for them.
All right, let's go to Saturday's highlights here at the HTC Center, and the Chanticleers looking to extend that winning streak to 5, and things start off very well for the home team. Debo again starting off very well. Coach hits a jumper. Jones feeling it. He'll hit a 3, and Cuthbertson comes back with a 3 himself on a fast break, combined with another DJ bucket. You're up 7 minutes, or actually I would say 3 minutes into the game. It's 12-5.
Well, we're off to a good start. It goes back to those first 5 minutes. We're in control of it, but we know that this team is going to get adjusted to who we are, environment, and make a comeback.
They do, in fact, chip away. The Ragin' Cajuns would pull within 4 on a Miller three-point jump shot with 11 minutes to go. And just as Coach alluded to, now we got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, it's going to be back and forth, and you know, we're trying to get stops, but they're scoring too often. At the same point in time, we're able to score on them. We were able to score, and that was a big difference.
You talked about Gant, Coach, and what he brings to the table. He was a workhorse for about 4 or 5 minutes there in the first half, because he would cut it down to 3, and then Wesley helps out with a bucket here, and it's a 3-point game with 6 and some change to go.
Well, fans got to see 2 good, what I call power forwards that can stretch the floor, can go inside, in Gant and Zach Cuthbertson. That was an absolute battle with regards to those 2 guys making plays, and I thought in this particular day, in the end, Zach had a slight edge in the upper hand, but Gant he's a man. But those are 2 very good power forwards. Very proud of Zach for his performance today against Gant.
They would actually take the lead, Coach, for the first time in this ball game at the 3:11 mark on a Hayes 2-point bucket, and that's a double-digit lead you had early on. Well, it's gone now.
Well, it's gone, but our defense really made a couple of plays down the stretch, and I thought the play at the end of the half where Ebo got the steal and we're up, it gave momentum, got the crowd into the game, and it was just a good defensive effort those last couple of minutes.
You would outscore them, Coach, by 5 in the final minute and a half. A couple of jumpers from Debo, Cuthbertson would give you a 44-38 lead at the break. And as you just said, that last minute or so with some good solid defense in a bucket.
Yep. Well, the big key for us now is to make sure that we come out at the halftime and after the half. They were getting a few too many transition buckets, and we wanted to close off the paint a little bit more. We thought that they were getting some things inside on us, and we made some adjustments. And I told our staff, I said, look, we're going to have to stop this. And I said, there's one way to go about it. And I said, we got to look at Josh Coleman. I said, I wish I'd have gotten him in the first half. But we talked about it at halftime. And as we open the second half out, we're getting stops, but they're getting the loose ball and rebounds. So there you enter Josh Coleman.
The Cuthbertson dunk, Coach, there in that first minute really got the crowd going, and it got this team going because it put you back up by 6. And then Sanders hits a lay-in as well to give you a 7-point lead. But that right there kind of sparked the offense a little bit, especially the dunk.
Well, anytime you get it on defense, I think it fires your – I tell our team, our offense is really keyed by how well we play defense. Because if we can get that run game going, and we've seen it, we get these guys out and get some steals and stuff, our offense really picks up.
We hit the 13-minute mark, and here come the Cajuns. Miller with a bucket. It's a 2-point game at that point, Coach.
Well, as we know, this is a team that's not going to go away. You got Gant, you got these guys on the perimeter, you got Strowman. There's too much arsenal, so you got to make sure you get stops. I
was very impressed with Deba hitting from outside. He's known for his drives and playing inside basketball, but boy, he showed up today hitting some big jumpers. You can't leave him alone. He's a driver, but you know, you take the drive away, don't think he can't make it, because he can. And there's not a guy on our perimeter that we're playing that can't make the three, and that's a great threat to have. Gums Freighter, Coach, what can you say other than fantastic? About 3 or 4 minutes, he hit a couple of big threes, and after that last one went down, you had a 13-point lead, and before you know it, Coach, this one was all but done.
Well, they went to a zone, and, you know, Ty's going to smile when he sees the zone. And they went to the zone. He was open. He knocked the shots down, and it really opened the gate for us.
And then Coastal Carolina would go on to win, because after that point, this one was all but history. They win it 96-79, pushing their winning streak to 5 consecutive. Cuthbertson again led this team in scoring 24 points and 9 boards. Deba having himself a nice night, 16 and 3. Devontae Jones added 16 as well. But the big one here, Tyrell Gumsfrader, 15 points, Coach.
Well, those threes were daggers. And we've seen it as we were talking about the Louisiana Monroe game earlier with the Smith kid knocking down threes. Tyrell was the guy for us today knocking those threes down, and it opened the game up.
All right, we hear from Cuthbertson and Deba after this game on how this game went and where this team goes as they ride this 5-game winning streak into Texas.
Confidence is at the highest right now, which it should be. We've been playing good these last 5 games. We got DJ and Ebo back in the groove. With them 2 guys being the main part of this team, they keep us going, and we've been playing good with them in the lineup.
I think we did what we had to do. We followed our game plan, and coach gave us a good game plan, so we follow it. Play defense like we always do. We could have run, and we just shared the ball like we always do. So I think we played a solid game.
So, Coach, very good victory for this basketball team. The streak's now at 5. You're playing well. You go on the road now, but the confidence level is sky high.
Well, we finished halfway through the race. We started out 1-3, but we didn't have our team together. So when you look at it like that and come back and have now won 5 in a row with this team, we know that as we go down the second half, we still have a lot of freshmen that have got to understand that this next half is going to be another step, and we've got to go on the road the first 3 games.
Right.
You know, and the road's not easy. So these road games are where it's going to be at as far as the league standings, as far as I'm concerned, because once again, this is where, when I've been involved with championship teams, if you go do things on the road, you've got a chance to win your league.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll switch gears. We'll talk a little bit about Tyrell Gums-Freighter and what he's meant to this program. His profile coming up when the Cliff Ellis Show rolls on right here on ABC 15.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by the Britton Law Firm.
Locals love Creek Rats for dinner. They rave about the nightly specials and how much they enjoy the live music. But when you experience that incredible waterfront view, you get that relaxed Creek Rats attitude. Waterfront on the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet.
At its heart, above all else, A&I has had a long-standing commitment to the community.
Our driving force is our dedication to the people we serve.
From Myrtle Beach to Florence,
Wilmington to Charleston.
Every job is different, and every community is unique.
No matter what disaster has brought us to you,
it's our commitment that will keep us here. We're proud to be celebrating 40 years of service to the Carolinas.
And we're looking forward to 40 more.
At Logan's Roadhouse, we grill up sizzling Southern-inspired flavor using time-honored recipes we've collected and perfected over time. From the inviting aromas of our wood-fired grilled steaks to our delicious from-scratch dishes with seasonings you can see, we know how to bring out food's true flavor. And when you pair our food with an ice-cold beer or our handcrafted Roadhouse tea, you'll understand why Logan's Roadhouse is much more than a restaurant. Come to where steak rules the road. Logan's Roadhouse.
Waccamaw Land and Timber has been serving the Grand Strand since 1982. The ultimate goal of Waccamaw Land and Timber is the best interest of both the buyer and the seller. If you're looking for a place to relax, hunt, or fish, the professionals at Waccamaw Land and Timber can find you the perfect recreational property. Call 449-0441 to discuss your real estate needs with Waccamaw Land and Timber.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Burroughs & Chapin.
Welcome back here to the Cliff Ellis Show. Coach, you got to talk about one young man who has really stepped up. The transition from his first year to his second year has been a major jump in Tyrell Gums-Frater. You could see glimpses of it last year. You saw what he could do, but this year he's really raised his game and really become a vital piece of this basketball program.
He's gotten used to Division I basketball. He knows the league. He knows our team. He is such a great fit for who we are. We got guys that can drive the ball, and Ebo and DJ, and you know, guys that shoot it. They loved having people like that around them because you know you drive in there and get the kick out. And Tyrell can shoot it as good as anybody. And he's you know, last year, I know the Arkansas trip, he had a tremendous run for us, and that's where we started seeing the glimpse that he can do some things. And this year, he's getting better and better. And I'll tell you what's really pleased me is his defense has gotten better. And so he's becoming a very good player, and we're very proud of what he's done.
All right, here's more on the junior Tyrell Gums-Frater. Tyrell Gums-Frater, a second-year Chanticleer who's made the most of his opportunities at Coastal Carolina. It didn't take long for the Canadian to feel right at home. It took just one trip to the Grand Strand to seal him on the school and the program.
I fell in love with everything about it. The weather was beautiful. I had a nice dinner with Coach Ellis. We got to talk a lot about the season and what he expects from me. So I think that's pretty much what made my decision.
Since he's arrived, he's learned a lot both on and off the court. On the court, it's been Coach Ellis that's taught him the most. With Coach's vast knowledge, Gums-Frater understands he's got a chance to learn from one of the best in college basketball.
He's been around for so long that I'm always interested in what he has to say.
He's taken the experience learned as a sophomore to help build on his junior campaign. Playing other D1 players throughout the summer has put a big emphasis on playing better defense, and so far, that focus has translated to success on both ends of the court.
That's the one thing that I want to key in for the rest of my time here, and hopefully when I go to play on somewhere else.
When he's not playing, he's drawing, a talented artist that has a passion, one that's not lost on his teammates.
Yeah, they all say I'm the best, and they wouldn't have a reason not to.
With his team coming together and playing at a high level, Gums-Frater believes the sky's the limit for what this team can accomplish.
We're working towards being one of the best teams out of this conference, so I feel like we could do a lot of damage and hopefully do well in the tournament.
You talked about the core. He is definitely one of those cores. You're going to have him again next year, only a junior, so you get him again next year. So he's going to fit in nicely with that core that you talked about after the win against Louisiana.
Well, I think that with this backcourt, they get better and better as they play because you got a couple of freshmen that can do a lot of things. They're very special, but when you got a guy like Ty, you're going to love having those guys around you.
All right, time for another quick break. When we come back, we're switching gears. We're talking about the week ahead because the Chanticleers heading to the Lone Star State. That's coming up with the Cliff Ellis Show rolls on right here on ABC 15.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by HTC.
When you bring the indoors outdoors, there are no rules.
It's time to get your fun on at Broadway at the Beach. Specializing in one-of-a-kind shopping, shoppers will find treasures of every kind, from unique gift shops you won't find anywhere else to nationally recognized names. And while shopping, don't forget to refuel at one of more than 20 mouth-watering restaurants and eateries, where you can choose from the all-American hamburger and milkshake to fajitas and sushi. Broadway is also home to spectacular attractions and live entertainment. For more information, visit BroadwayAtTheBeach.com. Broadway at the Beach. Positively awesome.
As the official orthopedic providers of Coastal Carolina University Athletics, the Doctors of Ortho SC offer the specialized orthopedic care needed to keep athletes and their fans in the game. If bone, joint, or muscle pain is keeping you from doing what you love, get the care the Shants trust and see the experts at Ortho SC. To learn more about Ortho SC's providers and services, or to request an appointment online, visit orthosc.org.
Locals love Creek Rats for lunch. They say it's the fresh salads, fantastic wraps, and seafood baskets. But when you experience those incredible waterfront views, you get that relaxed Creek Rats attitude. Waterfront on the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Crestcom Bank.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go ahead and put a wrap on this one, Coach. But before we do that, let's talk about the week ahead. The Texas two-step. First, you go to Arlington to take on the Mavericks, and then you're heading down to beautiful San Marcos. No river rafting for you. It's all about basketball.
Well, this is going to be a tough road test because, as we know, we haven't played the Georgia teams yet. But the Texas teams, they beat us at home. Mm-hmm. And with those wins, they've kept us out of first place. But you give them credit. So basically, they're ahead of us. Even though we're one game out, they beat us at home. We've got to go return the favor. It's quite a challenge. We got a young team, but this is a great test for our team. The conference tournament's coming up soon. We got to be at our best, but we're going to have to be at our best this week because Arlington's on Thursday, Texas State's on Saturday. Need I say more?
That's right. And, of course, the Mavericks, as you alluded to, beat you guys here, but you have confidence going on the road because of what you guys were able to accomplish in Arkansas. So I know this team's feeling pretty good.
There's no doubt we're feeling good. We just got to have good practice this week. We'll practice Monday, Tuesday, head out Wednesday, and then we'll play the games and see what happens.
Texas State. That's where, if you want to play college basketball, you want to win a conference championship, to be the best, you got to beat the best, Coach, and you're going to go to Texas State and have that opportunity on Saturday.
And they have not withered with regards to saying we are the team to beat because they've done it at home, they've done it on the road, and this is a tough physical team.
It should be a fun road test and a road trip for the Chanticleers. Of course, Coach and myself will be back here next Sunday and show you how things transpired in the Lone Star State between the Chanticleers, the Mavericks, and, of course, the Bobcats. That is going to do it for us here on the Cliff Ellis Show. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. We'll see you back here next Sunday, same time, same place.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Yellowwood Pressure-Treated Pine.
For more than 60 years, HTC has been delivering worldwide connections from right here in our community. A community our employees are proud to support in every way, from coaching Little League sports to local fundraisers and quarterly blood drives. We sponsor and support the community and our school systems, recognizing greatness along the way. It's a commitment we take seriously, all to strengthen the connections here in our community. HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Ortho SC.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Crestcom Bank.